What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another live watch-along. Today we're going to be doing the Champions League live watch-along of Manchester City's game against Slovan Bratislava. Manchester City's first ever game in Slovakia. Fun fact for you guys. So, before we do crack on with this live stream, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a thumbs up. You guys know what we're aiming for. 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. We are already over 1/5 of the way to the aim. We are aiming for 100 likes, 79 to go. Any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the live chat. We've got Adam in the chat. Welcome, Adam. Thanks for tuning in. Says he wants me to be aiming for 115 likes instead. We'll aim for 100. If we get there, we'll go for 115. Adam going for a 7-0 routing for Manchester City today. Do hope you are well, Adam. And I'd love a 7-0 victory for City. Mario, thanks for tuning in. Says Nunes going to be cooking up something for us tonight, going for a comprehensive 6-0 victory for Manchester City. Lots of positivity in the chat. Do like it. Dave going for a 4-1 victory for Manchester City today and says all the best. Much appreciated, Dave, and thank you for tuning in and also leaving your thoughts in the chat as well. Geffin, thanks for tuning in. Says hoping for a 6 or 7-0 win for Manchester City and says that would be a huge result today. So lots of positivity, not just a win, not just a clean sheet. We're hoping for 4, 5, 6, even 7 goals. Should be a really entertaining game. Dalton, thanks for tuning in. Says, hope it's going to be a more entertaining game than what we've seen over the last month from Manchester City. I think Manchester City here going to be looking for goals and to attack, and have a feeling that Slovan Bratislava are going to try and attack Manchester City as well. So it could be a really entertaining game. Dalton going with a 4-0 victory today for Manchester City. TM, thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Says, hoping for a Matheus Nunes hat-trick. Lots of love for Matheus in the chat. Do love that with Matheus Nunes, of course, starting for City today. And Chi, thanks for tuning in, says Haaland could break the UEFA Champions League record today. I presume in terms of goal scoring, because Erling Haaland loves goals. We're looking here at a team making their debut in the Champions League. Do they have the quality to be able to trouble Manchester City? We will have to wait and see. But, yeah, we'll see. We will see. I'm expecting goals today for this game, and hopefully, first and foremost, a Man City win. And if we can get beyond that, then it'd be nice to go out there and make a statement win as well. Double figures, anybody? Or are we being disrespectful? Manchester City fan, thanks for tuning in. Says, sorry, buddy, can't follow your stream tonight because I'm having a severe headache. Do hope you are feeling better very soon. Manchester City fan, get yourself some painkillers. Get yourself some much-needed rest. We'll see you for the live watch-along next time. It is what it is. Look after your health first is always what I do say. Matthew, thanks for tuning in. Going for City to score 8 today. Anyone going in for 9? I'm going 10. Why not? Anyway, do get your score predictions, guys, in the chat. Do let me know where you are tuning in from as well. Welcome, everybody, for tuning in. It is much appreciated. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It is free to subscribe on that push now to 38,000 subscribers. Less than 200 subs away, so any help towards that would be brill. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description, too, if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. My big up link also in the description too. Go and check that out and go and follow me on there. It is free to sign up, where I'm going to be doing regularly after every single game. So around 24 hours normally after every single game, I'll be doing my match analysis of Manchester City's game, where I'm going to really digest all the tactics and everything that's been involved, what was different, what wasn't, and moving in from there. Matthew says, yeah, 10-0. We love it. That's what we're looking for. Mario says, anyone for Haaland scoring a double hat-trick today? I have a feeling that with the niggles that he's had, that I don't think he'll do 90 minutes. I think if Haaland maybe grabs a goal or two by half-time, I reckon Pep Guardiola will take him off, which is making me think that City aren't going to go out there and score 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 goals today, which they are capable of doing. I reckon that if City get into a position where we've scored 3 or 4 goals, they'll take the foot off the gas, which I hope they don't do, could do with a big statement win. We'll have to wait and see. Now, finally, I want to say a big shout out to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. You can go and check them out in the description. I've got the link in the live chat, or you can use the QR code on screen. Just scan that with your mobile or device, and that will take you to the download page to download the free SofaScore app. Anyone that does download SofaScore using my link in the description, or the QR code on screen, or the link in the live chat, does help to support the future content created here on my channel. SofaScore are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores from around the ground. It's not just limited to football, by the way. It's got all the sports on there that you guys love to follow, so do go and check it out. It's a very highly rated app. It'll keep you up to date with all the latest match information, along with the latest match statistics as well. I'm going to be using it to provide the team news for today's game, and as well as my halftime and full-time analysis as well. So do go and check that out. I will roll my promo video very quickly right now. And thank you to SofaScore for sponsoring this video. Do go and check them out. Adam, big happy birthday to you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in on your birthday, and I do hope you have had a cracking day as well. Hopefully Manchester City can win here and pick up a much-needed 3 points in the Champions League to help you celebrate your very special day. Ian, thanks for tuning in. Says, don't know much about Bratislava, but could see about 5 or 6 goals for City, maybe more. Who knows? I'm no expert on Slovan Bratislava either. I know of their manager, Vladimir Weiss. I know that his son used to play for Manchester City in our academy back in, I think it was 2008. I'll put a question mark on that. Vladimir Weiss is a winger who's now 34 years old. It makes me feel very old that I remember him being part of the Manchester City academy, but here we are. I mean, it's scary to think that that's 16 years ago, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, so there we go. I think City are capable of scoring a lot of goals. I mean, I think Bratislava showed that they're not quite there in terms of the quality by their game at Parkhead that they played against Celtic in their opening game, where I think Celtic won, was it 4-0? Let me have a quick look at that. It finished, 5-1. They won by 4, finished 5-1 in that game. So, yeah, Celtic can put 5 past them. You have to think, how many can Man City score? We'll have to wait and see. Matthew says, happy birthday to Adam as well. So, yeah, Adam, do have a great day. Chi says, hard to believe that we have just 1 win in our last 4 games. Relegation form. We do. We're unbeaten. We've just not managed to turn the draws into wins. We managed to scab a last-minute goal against Arsenal to come out with a draw rather than a defeat, which I don't think is too bad of a result, to be honest. Arsenal are a good team. We don't want to be giving them 3 points, so taking 2 points off them and picking up a point for us as well, I think was a pretty positive result. A point away against Newcastle as well isn't a bad result. I was disappointed by the performance against Inter Milan. I'd like to have won that. Inter Milan are a very good team as well. They're not easy games, are they? Inter at home, Arsenal at home. You'd think that City would win them games, but they're always going to be close games. We haven't lost them games, so it's not the end of the world. And Newcastle away, it's a difficult away match. Again, not lost it, picked up a point. A point could be the difference between us winning the Premier League and not come May. Who knows? You've got to look at it from a positive outlook, and you can't do anything about the past. You can only do about what we're doing in the future, and we're in control here of this game. We can win this game, pick up 3 points. We can move on, take on Fulham heading into the international break at home. Fulham, decent side, got off to a good start as well. Won't be easy. If we can win that game, then happy days. Happy days. There we go. Kazchi, thanks for tuning in. Reckon Savinho at the double today for Manchester City. It'd be great to see Savinho grab a couple of goals for City. He's not scored for City yet, so hopefully he'll be able to do that in today's game. That would be really good. She just wanting a clean sheet today for Manchester City. It'd be good to get a clean sheet, wouldn't it? Stefan Ortega starting in goal as well. He'll want to put Ederson under pressure. A big callback by Pep. We'll speak about the team news in just 1 second. Frederick, thanks for tuning in. Brennan reckons City are going to win today. Mario asks, Pep, is he risking Haaland today? Perhaps, but this is a must-win game, and Pep Guardiola takes the Champions League very seriously. That's why I just said that if City have scored 2 or 3 by half-time, I expect Haaland to be taken out of the team for that reason. So we will see. We've got players starting today who we really could do with putting in strong performances for us. So fingers crossed they can make that happen. Adam going 7-0 today to Manchester City. Matthew says, love a draw instead of getting beat. It's always nice to not get beat. Sometimes you look at things and you think we should have won that game. We haven't. You picked up a point. Premier League's a long season, 38 games. It's not the end of the world. And, looking at the opponents that we're taking on. I mean, if it's a home game, against a newly promoted side and we're dropping points, then that's a different story to dropping points against a Premier League rival in Arsenal who potentially could lift the trophy in May, or an away game against Newcastle who I expect to be probably competing for a European spot, maybe even for the Champions League for next season. So we will have to wait and see. Julia, thanks for tuning in. Also wishing Mr. Quinn a very happy birthday. Julia, thank you for tuning in. It is much appreciated. I did see... Nicosi, there we go, has also tuned in. That is much appreciated. Nicosi, thanks for tuning in. Says, hoping Matheus Nunes will show us his worth so he can get more game time, and then don't give Pep a choice not to give him game time. So he wants to put in a very impressive performance, so hopefully he can go and do so. I didn't think he played too bad in the Carabao Cup game last week against Watford, so hopefully he can put in a good performance here for this game as well. Martin, thanks for tuning in. Am I going to be showing the actual game? Well, I don't have broadcasting rights for the Champions League. They are big money offers for the broadcasting rights for the Champions League to be able to show the game. We do a live watch along though, where we have a lot of fun speaking about the game, everything that's happening, and we do have a laugh here on my channel. So if that's your vibe, then do stick around. If not, then thank you for popping in. It is much appreciated. So let's head over to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore, where of course I'm going to be doing my votes. Interestingly, just having a look at the full-time results. Stuttgart 1, Sparta Prague 1. That's who Manchester City are taking on in our next Champions League game. Sparta Prague picking up a decent point in Germany against Stuttgart. And this is very impressive. RB Salzburg 0, Brest 4. That is a huge result for Brest. So there we go. There we go. Other Champions League games taking place today. Arsenal against PSG. Barcelona against Young Boys. Leverkusen against Milan. Dortmund against Celtic. Inter Milan against Crvena Zvezda. PSV Eindhoven against Sporting Club de Portugal. And you've also got Slovan Bratislava taking on Manchester City. Who do I think is going to win this game? Going for a Manchester City victory, which 82% of users have agreed with. Over 90,000 people have left their votes for this game. Do I think both teams to score? I do not think it's going to be both teams to score. 67% of users going with no, both teams to score. 33%, of course, with both teams to score. And who do I think is scoring first today? I'm going with Manchester City, which 90% of users have agreed with. Now, today's game being broadcast live on TNT Sports. So if you wanted to watch this game live, then it is live in the UK on TNT Sports. Game taking place in Bratislava in Slovakia. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, this is Manchester City's first ever game in Slovakia. So there's been a very big demand for tickets in that away end. Just over 1,000 tickets for Manchester City fans. Stadium holding just over 20,000 people. So very much an in-demand away day against Slovan Bratislava, making their debut in the Champions League. Now, referee for this game is David Massa from Italy, averages 0.21 red cards per game with an average of just under 5 yellow cards. So potentially could be a few yellow cards knocking about in this game. Having a look at the lineup, please do bear with me on these pronunciations. So, Manchester City taking on Slovan Bratislava. Bratislava lining up with a 4-2-3-1 formation led by Vladimir Weiss Senior. They're starting in goal, Dominic Takac. The back four made up of Cesar Blackman, Gurim Kasia, Kenan Baric, and Kevin Vimmer. Into midfield, you've got Kyriakos, Savadis, Danilo Ignatenko, and Marko Tolic. And then out wide, you've got Tigran Barsigrayan, Captain Vladimir Weiss Jr., the son of the manager Vladimir Weiss, and the player that's starting, their captain, is the former Manchester City Academy player back from 2008, Vladimir Weiss, and you've also got David Strelec starting up top today for Slovan Bratislava. On the bench for them today, again, please bear with me on these pronunciations. You've got Trinovoski, Hurandina, Medvedev, wow, Medvedev. Thank you, that's great. Voet, Zaburu, Porchesk, Morelli, Mustafik, Mac, Suzuki, Gajdos, and Metsoko. I did my best. Apologies for butchering a lot of the pronunciations of their players. JSGC must do better. Moving on to Manchester City, led by manager Pep Guardiola. Interestingly, average age of today's team, 26.0 years. For Slovan Bratislava, very experienced team, average age of 29.6 years old. Nearly 30 years old, the average age of their players. So a team that's very much playing for the here and now, rather than for the future. We're lining up today with Stefan Ortega-Moreno in goal, lining up with a 4-2-3-1 formation, which will invert more into a 3 at the back, with Manchester City going with 4 central midfielders, 2 wingers, and a striker. So we're lining up Stefan Ortega-Moreno in goal, Rico Lewis, John Stones, Manuel Akanji, and Josko Gvardiol as our back 4. Rest for Ruben Dias. Into midfield, Ilkay Gundogan captains Manchester City today. He's starting alongside Matheus Nunes and Phil Foden. You're going to see Rico Lewis going into midfield, providing support with Ilkay Gundogan and Matheus Nunes. It looks like, going off that team, that either Man City are going to go gung-ho here in all-out attack, or Matheus Nunes is going to be playing in a deeper role, or Rico Lewis. We've seen Rico Lewis getting quite far forward, so I suspect that Matheus Nunes may be going into a deeper role for Manchester City. In particular, he's got to start here, but he could well start at the weekend as well. We still continue with the absence of Kevin De Bruyne in our team, and Pep Guardiola has already confirmed that he's out until after this upcoming international break, which happens after the games, this weekend's game against Fulham. Huge opportunity for Phil Foden playing behind the striker. Came on with a little cameo appearance against Newcastle, looked pretty slick. I want Phil Foden to go out there to be scoring and assisting and showing his quality. I want this game to be all about Phil Foden, and he never really looks back for this season. Matheus Nunes, I want a big performance from him. Ilkay Gundogan didn't play particularly well, I didn't think, in our match against Newcastle. I want to see a good performance from him as well. Savinho starting on the right wing, Jeremy Doku starting on the left wing ahead of Jack Grealish. So I want to see a big performance here from Jeremy Doku as well. And of course, main man Erling Haaland starting up top. Had them niggled, I suspect that he's probably going to do one half here. You will see Phil Foden head into our false 9 striker, and you'll see one of our midfielders come on in the second half, whether that be someone like Bernardo Silva or James McAtee or Mateo Kovacic or somebody else. We will have to wait and see. On the bench for Manchester City, we've got Ederson and Scott Carson, 2 goalkeepers. Along with them, you've got Kyle Walker, Ruben Dias, Mateo Kovacic, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, and James McAtee. We could have taken more young players forward with us. We've chosen not to travel with the young players and keep them for the academy games in the Champions League instead. So Manchester City just lining up there with not as many players as they could perhaps have on the bench as what they want, but we are missing 4 key important players. Kevin De Bruyne out, Nathan Ake out, Oscar Bobb out, and Rodri out for the season as well. So City, licking their wounds from injuries, will want to go out there and make a statement win. I'm going 4-0 Manchester City today. However, could it be 10? Could it be 10? Seriously, think about that. How hungry are Manchester City to make that statement win? We will have to wait and see. Dalton, thanks for tuning in, says, am I missing something? I don't think Nunes has been that bad. He got a few assists last season. He's lacking goals, but so is Jack Grealish. I think it's more to do with game time. I think people just want to see a little bit more of Matheus Nunes. We've paid nearly £60 million, and for £60 million, when you've been signed into Manchester City's midfield, you're expecting to be seeing that player a heck of a lot yet. To me, last season, it didn't really look like he was being trusted by Pep Guardiola. He's clearly a quality player. We just want to see some... you just want to see more from him. And he's been given more opportunities. And I think it looks a little bit sharper this season. It's a shame that he wasn't available for Manchester City during pre-season, because if he was, I suspect he would have been starting for 3 of Manchester City's Premier League games before the first international break, because players were still working their way back, and he hardly featured for Portugal during the European Championship. So pre-season would have been ideal for Matheus Nunes, but he was on holiday, so here we are. He's going to have to be patient. He's going to have to wait for his games. He's got game opportunity here. Needs to apply himself. Daniel, thanks for tuning in. Says, who do I think will win the Champions League this season? His money's on Real Madrid or Manchester City. I think that's the safe bet. If it's not to be City, I reckon it will be Real Madrid. But, excuse me, that's me just sitting on the fence. I can't really see it being anybody else, if I'm honest. Where else could it be? As the players have made their way out of the tunnel, we've got the UEFA Champions League anthem blaring out in the stadium. So if you're watching at home, do feel free to boo along. And Julia says, Walker's private life becomes more embarrassing. It certainly does, Julia. Urinating in the streets. His wife wants £15 million to stay with him. He's got 2 kids with another woman. He's Manchester City's captain. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm making no comments on that. Anyway, quick plug. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Big Up, on my Twitter, on my Instagram, on my TikTok. Do go check them out. Links and details there in the description. Do leave a thumbs up as well. We're now into the 30s. We're now 68 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do also leave your thoughts in the live chat, including where you're tuning in from today and your score predictions for this game. Finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. And thank you very much to SofaScore for sponsoring this video. They just helped me to provide all the team news for you guys. So do go and check them out. It is free to download and it is a fantastic app. So do go and check them out. Manchester City, interesting. We're playing in our 3rd kit. I can see why we're not playing in our definitely maybe kit, as Slovan Bratislava are playing in all white. So there'll be a clash of colours there. I'm surprised Man City haven't taken their opportunity to play in their away kit. We're still waiting for that to be making its debut in the Champions League. Still not happened. We did play in our definitely maybe shirt at home. Controversial, that against Inter Milan. I said it might have a curse, so I'm happy that we're not wearing it today. And we're going with the 3rd kit instead, the burgundy kit. Ian says, game on, come on, Manchester City. So, I'm going to end my poll. 83% of you guys think Manchester City are winning today. 14% going with a Slovan Bratislava win, with 2% going with a draw. And I wanted to thank everybody for taking part in that poll. I do run polls regularly on my live stream, so thank you to everybody for interacting with that. Lots of confidence today for this game, and hopefully Manchester City can put in a real high, top quality performance. Referee has his whistle in his mouth. And we do have kickoff for this game in Slovakia, in the capital, in Bratislava, as Manchester City take on Slovan Bratislava. I think it's SK Slovan Bratislava. Got 3 stars above the badge. I'm sure one of you footballing geniuses out there will be able to inform me as to why they've got 3 stars on the top of their badge. I'm not too sure why. Whether it's for decoration or there's some meaning, I'm not too sure. Anyway, intent seems to have been put out there straight away from City, straight from kickoff, with City attacking from left to right, Slovan Bratislava attacking from right to left. City have just immediately pushed everybody forward, and City now got everybody camped inside the Slovan half as Jeremy Doku goes with an early ball into the box. That goes out of play for a corner to Manchester City in the first opportunity of this game, as the Slovan fans are making plenty of noise there behind the goal that City are attacking here in the first half. That will be their dedicated, passionate fan base making some top quality noise there, bouncing up and down. Andy, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. It is still 0-0, we're a minute in. We've got our first attack now. Might not be 0-0 for too long as a linesman comes running out to protect the ball as some discussions are taking place by the referee and one of the defenders for Slovan about some pushing and shoving going on in the box. So Gundogan, captain for today, comes over, taking the corner for City, whips the ball in, headed clear by Slovan. They can pick up the loose second ball, and there could be a counter on here for Bratislava if they get the pass right. It wasn't right, but Vladimir Weiss just skins Phil Foden, and Bratislava could be in. Oh, it's wide. It's just wide. What an opportunity for Slovan Bratislava. 3 touches, they're forward, and what an opportunity. He should score. He should score. Great work from the captain, Vladimir Weiss. 1 touch, does everything right, he drags it, just wide. Here's Doku in the penalty area. Plays one across to Rico Lewis. Squares it across. There's Haaland, and he has his first opportunity, and it's wide. This is a good game. Philip going. Predictions for today reckons a nice Manchester City win. I'm still sticking with 4-0 Manchester City. I think Slovan Bratislava are letting City know that they know how to attack. Lightning quick counter-attack there. Question is, do they know how to defend? Early corner conceded already. Rico Lewis just cut through on that right-hand side, found Haaland in space. He drags his shot wide. Both teams with an early opportunity, but that early chance for Slovan Bratislava was an immense opportunity. And Bratislava nearly gave Manchester City an almighty scare, as Philip says there. Ball given away by Bratislava. Haaland could be in. Haaland squares it across and it's beyond Foden. Oh, he does everything right. Foden just runs beyond it. Another opportunity there. 3 minutes in, 3 opportunities. Good game of football, this. And that's been run out of play, and that'll be a throw-in for Slovan Bratislava. Savinho then's going on the left-hand side and Jeremy Doku on the right. That's interesting. It's really interesting. Pep Guardiola not too happy. I mean, that was a lightning quick counter-attack from Man City's corner. Phil Foden really should have just took Vladimir Weiss out, but there we are. He didn't, and they nearly scored off it. Should have scored off it. Ball given away again here by Bratislava. It's not a great pass from Josko Gvardiol. Ball just gets a bit scrappy in the midfield, and City need to try and find some space. Rico Lewis not with the best of passes, and that's a lovely, lovely pass on the bounce from Ortega. And City can just take the time. Is City then attacking on the left. Gundogan pings a ball in, looking for Jeremy Doku, too much on it and out of play for a goal kick. Seamus says maybe 2 or 3-1 to Manchester City. No clean sheet, he reckons, again tonight. And a closer game than everybody else is predicting. You fancy at some point there's going to be a goal and it's going to come in the first 10 minutes. Slovan here have come to play football. knocking the ball around, pinging the ball, pressing Manchester City. Daniel says, what do I think of the new Champions League format? It's interesting. I mean, it's going to take a little while to get used to. I'm not a real fan of the extra games. I'm all for spicing up the group stage because it can get a bit beige at times. There's a bit of space here for Gundogan, finds Doku on the right, and he's under pressure from Vladimir Weiss. He's pressing Doku. Makes 2 attempts at him before he can play a pass in. So Bratislava just trying to make an early statement to City. Rough them up. Make things happen. Try and attack. Interesting is Savinho takes his man on. Cross comes in. Headed clear. I'm reserving judgment. It needed spicing up. I can't help but feel like if you'd split the league into 2 might have worked a little better. Just because you're playing 8 games and there's 36 teams. There's a lot of teams you're not facing and you're competing. It just seems a little silly. If we're going to have 36 teams, why not have 4 groups of 9 and you play each other once? 4 of them teams at home, 4 of them away. Top 2 go through. 3rd and 4th in the groups will go into a playoff, and those that have scored the most points become the top seeds in them playoffs, and those that haven't go in the bottom seeds and everybody else goes out. I'm hoping that UEFA will be adaptable, but I doubt it. They'll just stick with what they've planned rather than listening to what might make sense, as it can get a bit congested and a bit confusing. And to me, it seems a bit silly that a team you're not facing or you're not going to see are going to be over us in the Champions League. It seems a bit daft. That's why I'd have gone with four groups of 9 and spiced it up that way as a shot comes in there. And a second shot comes in, takes a deflection, and it's into the back of the net. And Ilkay Gundogan gives Manchester City the lead. It might go down as an own goal. I said we was going to see a goal inside the opening 10 minutes. And there it is. It's not taken Manchester City long, and they lead by a 1-0 after that early scare from Slovan Bratislava. It's as easy as that. Just a ball across, and a shot comes in from Savinho on the volley. It's another shot from Ilkay Gundogan on the volley. He doesn't make the cleanest of connections on it. It takes a massive, massive deflection off the shin of one of the defenders. As I said, I think it'll go down as a Gundogan goal. It's not the tidiest of goals, but a goal is a goal, and Manchester City now ahead here by a 1-0. We like that. Seamus says Super League, but not by name. You're right. Here's Phil Foden. Gives the ball to Matheus Nunes. Everyone was criticising the Super League. Me included. Weren't a fan of it. As Borussia Dortmund have just taken the lead against Celtic at home. From the penalty spot, Emre Can with a goal. As Gundogan gets forward, he's barged over. Referee says no free kick. I'm surprised. Normally in Champions League, any time any player goes to ground, normally a free kick's given. As a challenge comes in there from Manchester City from Josko Gvardiol, and that will be a throw into Slovan Bratislava inside the Manchester City half. So, opening goal for City. What we want to do now is continue what we've been doing. You got to continue with how we play. We score a goal, you keep pushing, you try and get that killer second goal, get that 2-goal cushion, put Slovan Bratislava under pressure, and if you can get yourself into a position where you are 2-0 up, you keep pushing, get the third, and a third will kill the game. And that's what City have got to be looking for. And with a big Premier League game against Fulham coming up, I'd like Man City to be in that position sooner rather than later. Andy has had a few days in Portugal, in Lisbon. Hope you had a great time, along with Alison as well. Bit of sunshine, so it's very warm and beautiful. Had a great time as well. It's what we love to hear as Jeremy Doku goes with a ball across, takes a deflection off the heel of Doku as it goes out, and that'll be a goal kick on 10 minutes. City lead here by 1-0. Andy informs me that Celtic have found an equaliser. So there we go. Daniel, how many points do I think City need to get to the next round of the Champions League? I would go for, to mathematically guarantee it, 6 wins, so 18 points will be enough. It's made with the equaliser for Celtic. Maybe 15, 16 could be enough. 18 will do it. It's just I can see more than 8 teams picking up 4 wins. So that automatically takes you to north of 12 points. So 4 wins and 2 draws and 2 losses takes you to 14 points. So 15 points might be enough with 5 wins. Ideally, with how strong City are, they'll want to go out there and probably win at least 6 of the 8 to be considered one of the top teams in the Champions League with a really strong group performance. So I'd be looking for that. A point against Inter. I think we could maybe afford to drop points somewhere else. Difficult away games at Sporting CP. We've got a difficult away game against Juventus and against Paris Saint-Germain as well. Maybe if we can win a couple of them difficult away games and make sure we're winning our home games, we'll be right. But this is, on paper, probably Man City's easiest away game, so we could do with picking up the 3 points here and getting our campaign underway. Maybe I need to put the Dortmund game on. Adeyemi's just scored. It's 2-1 Dortmund. What an entertaining game that is, as Ilkay Gundogan just gives the ball away for City. It's unlike Ilkay Gundogan. What's going on? I don't understand. I do not understand. Very unlike Ilkay Gundogan. And this is not the time we could do with a dip in form from Gundo either. Entertaining game though that at the Signal Iduna Park. 3 goals in 13 minutes. Just a 1 goal here. City leading by 1-0. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. We're now into the 40s. Just 57 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. Or you can use the QR code on screen to download or the link in the chat. Daniel says, which team do I think will be a flop in the Champions League? That's a very good question. A flop in the Champions League. As in not making it out of the groups, go out in the playoffs, or just completely out in the groups, not even in the playoffs, to finishing right near the bottom kind of flop. That's a good ball forward. I've got a feeling that Borussia Dortmund are going to do something in the Champions League this year. Not saying they're going to win it, but I could see them maybe making another final. And in terms of like a big team flopping, it's a good question. Very good question. I can see it being like a PSG. I'm just not overly that impressed with them. Oh, Slovan Bratislava pick the pocket of Ilkay Gundogan, and they come forward here, and early ball across has to be dealt with by Akanji, and is. And here come Manchester City then, kind of on the counter-attack. Doku on the right wing. Burst of acceleration. We're now in the penalty area. He's got support here of Akanji. He's got a chance to put a ball into the box. He had Haaland at the back stick there. He tries to play a pass into Doku. But here we are. Bratislava try and play a ball forward. Doesn't work. Josko Gvardiol cuts that off and City can go again. Seeing Josko sitting a lot deeper than what we normally see as a through ball comes into Jeremy Doku. He takes on his man, squares it to the edge of the penalty area. And there is Phil Foden with the second goal for Manchester City. He has a big smile on his face because our Phil wanted that now more than ever. Lovely taken goal on his left foot, and that will do Phil Foden the world of good. And Manchester City lead in Bratislava by 2-0. So we've got that killer 2-goal cushion. Keep pushing, grab the third. Guarantees the 3 points, and we can go from there. For Bratislava, it's about trying to contain City, ensuring that it doesn't go 3-0 and they score next. If City do score next, it'll become a case where they'll just want to try and score 1 goal and say we scored past Man City. So City 2-0 up at the 15-minute mark. We carry on at this rate. We could be 6-0 up by half-time. But it's our Phil scoring the second goal. Manchester City here in cruise control. There's Jeremy Doku now. He's in acres of space. He's in acres of space there. Silky Ilky, spot him. As Andy says, Doku, man of the moment, doing very well. He's causing all kinds of problems. Maybe it's a tactical bit of genius from Pep just to spot that Doku needs to go on the right, not the left. Normally we see him on the left 9 times out of 10. Here is Ilkay Gundogan. Plays a ball across Rico Lewis to Erling Haaland. He wants in on the action. It's a good save from the keeper. Should have scored. Should have been 3. Could we see 10? Like, if City keep this team out for a long period of time, could this be 10? Here is Josko Gvardiol. City have just got space everywhere. Slovan aren't the best of defensive teams. Nunes then to Rico Lewis. Back to Matheus Nunes. He can't get in. That'll go out for a corner to Manchester City and more defending for Slovan to do. And you can just tell from the passionate fans behind the goals there, that ultra section, that it's just not as noisy. They're making noise, trying to get behind their team, but it's not as noisy, flamboyant, or outgoing as what it was at the start of the game. 2 goals in 15 minutes. They soon deflated the atmosphere as ball comes across from City. They do well to find Savinho, but they play a ball about 20 yards out to the side instead of putting the ball into the box. The ball ends up outside the box. Savinho has to take a touch. His back's to goal. And because of that, the corner amounts to nothing. There we go. Here's Doku bursting into space. Tries to square a ball across, and that goes out of play for a corner to Manchester City. Doku looking very lively here, making things happen on the City right wing. Here's Jeremy Doku then for Manchester City. To Matheus Nunes. Here is Phil Foden. Back to Matheus Nunes. Daniel, I'm not a real fan of the international break either. Takes all your momentum away. There's too many. There's a free kick goes in for City there. For a foul on Rico Lewis. David, thanks for tuning in. Says sending good wishes and vibes once more from Brazil. Hope all is well. Could well be a good evening. I do hope you're well, David, and thank you for tuning in. And it looks like City are on the way here to 3 points, a big 3 points in the Champions League. So that is always a good evening when that's happening as far as I am concerned. Here's Rico Lewis exchanging a couple of passes. Here's John Stones. There's a good pass to Phil Foden. Doku squares a ball across, headed clear. There's a bit of dancing going on in the stands there from the fans. Like they're doing a big, conga or something. What's going on? Arsenal are 1-0 up against PSG. Kai Havertz after 20 minutes, giving Arsenal the lead at the Emirates Stadium. Dave says a ref medical emergency in the West Brom Middlesbrough game. I hope the referee's okay. Here is Jeremy Doku to the byline. Squares the ball across. Another corner for Manchester City. Daniel says, when do we think we will get a big update on Rodri's recovery and how is it going? I reckon you'll probably get a development on that probably towards the latter parts of the season. I've never seen anything like that before in my life from the fans. They're literally just like bobbing from one side to the other. That is amazing. Anyway, Ortega plays the ball across to... This is a training game for Manchester City. They're just trying things. Savinho takes his man on to the byline. Ball goes in. Should be another corner. Is another corner. Retro, thanks for tuning in. As Kai Havertz has scored. Arsenal are in the lead. David says, not very good at football, but they can dance. I'm fascinated by it. I love European fan culture. It's the most interesting thing ever. I really wanted to go to the City Feyenoord game, but I'm on holiday at the time of that game. I wanted to go there because the Feyenoord fans will be nothing short of entertaining. They've got a brilliant atmosphere as well. Corner comes in from City, headed clear. Rico Lewis, he goes down, and Slovan can come away with the ball, and they can play a pass forward, and they can find one of their players. Phil Foden, a little bit of defending to do. And a challenge comes in there from Manuel Akanji, and Man City can have the ball and come forward once more. City take the conga with the Poznan. The conga dance. They're still going. It's like a slow motion huddle celebration. Doku says to Rico Lewis, he has a shot, keeper makes the save. Slovan Bratislava can head it clear. This feels like a friendly, guys. I'm not going to lie. As Doku has a shot and he hits the post. This is a training match for Manchester City. Here's Ilkay Gundogan to Akanji, to Jeremy Doku. Inside the penalty area, he's seen so much of the ball. Vladimir Weiss, bless him, is just running around like a headless chicken, trying to get near City, and City are just pinging balls left and right. Oh, it's not great from Akanji, and here come Slovan on the march, going forward. That'll be a free kick. I got a free kick on halfway. Akanji, the man, penalised. Daniel, good question. How far do I think Arsenal and Aston Villa are going to go? I think Aston Villa are capable of getting as far as maybe even quarter-final. I think it depends who they go up against and what side of the draw you end up on. I'd say if you're good enough to potentially make it as far as the final, which I think is potentially... I don't think Arsenal are good enough to win it, but I think they're capable of getting to the final if the draw's right for them. Aston Villa, I can see them getting to a quarter-final. Daniel, it does feel like a pre-season game, doesn't it? Really does. And I have a feeling that Man City, rather than wanting to run the risk of any injuries or anything, are probably going to take the foot off the gas at the moment. City will just be thinking about, you know, they're in the mode, they're in the zone, want to win the game, want to score goals. You know, 83% possession for City inside the first 25 minutes. That's a ridiculous amount. And it won't take long for these Bratislava players to get frustrated and tired from running round all the time. But at the moment, they'll be semi-happy. 25 minutes in, it's 2-0, you know. If they get to half-time and it's still 2-0. They'll regard that as a big success. You know, and they'll be optimistic. They'll be thinking, do you know what? We get a goal. We're in this. So, City, just got to keep going. Here's Gundogan to Phil Foden. Phil Foden with the shot, and keeper makes a hash of that. He makes the save. He pushes it onto the post, and nearly a third there for City. It's the second time that we've hit the woodwork. This could easily have been 4 or 5, really. Anyway, don't forget, guys, do subscribe. Do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore, and do leave a thumbs up as well. We're now halfway to 100 likes. 50 in, 50 to go. Andy, yep, former City man Vladimir Weiss, former academy player. Pep Guardiola was asked before the game, did he know that he used to play in City's academy, the captain? And he was like, oh no, I didn't know that. So he said he'll get to know him after the game. So Vladimir Weiss making a new friend in Pep Guardiola after the game. Funnily enough, the captain for Slovan, Vladimir Weiss, is the son of their manager, who's also called Vladimir Weiss. Here's Josko Gvardiol then for Manchester City. Gives the ball to John Stones. Everything being played inside the Slovan Bratislava half. Manuel Akanji on the right. Gives the ball to Johnny Stones going through the centre as a direct replacement for Ruben Dias today. Akanji to Rico Lewis. To Jeremy Doku. Cuts inside. Lovely from Jeremy Doku is Rico Lewis. He turns onto his right foot, trying to find a bit of space. Foden to Matheus Nunes. He wants a shot, and it's into the stands from Matheus Nunes. He had the better option of a pass into Savinho, but he chooses not to do so. That was a nice ultra. Ball goes into the stands. He decides not to keep hold of the ball. Nice big smile on his face. Just chucks the ball back to the pitch to get the game going again. Liam Delap doing well with Ipswich, which is good to see. He didn't look too shabby on his loan to Hull City last season. So he seems to be going from strength to strength and getting himself his first bit of experience in the Premier League. Seems to be coping really well, and I suspect that perhaps in the next couple of seasons, Liam Delap could end up being a tidy little Premier League striker. A couple of well-taken goals, a brace earning Ipswich a draw this weekend at home against Aston Villa. And Cole Palmer's Cole Palmer. He's a high-quality player. I said it at the time when we let him go. It shouldn't have been a permanent deal. It should have been on loan because I felt like he had so much to offer to City. I felt like he'd just started to come into his own when we let him go. But, you know, we were happy to let him go. He wanted to leave. He leaves, and there's not much we can do about that now. You know, Chelsea might have a big dip, and at some point he might think I can do a little bit better, and he wants to leave, and, you know, there's a potential of a transfer for him to come back, but I can't imagine that he would want to come back. Mario says Dortmund now 3-1 up in that entertaining game at the Signal Iduna Park. Looking like 3 points there for Borussia Dortmund. Daniel, I think I'd take Haaland off at half-time. Yeah. That'd be my only change. Here's Rico Lewis. Tries to play a ball forward. He goes down, and the referee says, I'll play an advantage. I think City wanted the free kick rather than the advantage, but City continue knocking it about. So, no free kick for City. Rico Lewis is back up on his feet and looking, moving around okay. She's good. Went down in a heap of pain then. Bless me. Yeah, Haaland I'd take off. Just for the niggles, and that'd be it. And I think I'd chuck Phil Foden up top. And just put an extra midfielder on. I'd give McAtee some minutes. Yeah, as Mario says, give James McAtee some minutes, what I'd be doing. Mario says 5 more goals remain for City. Well, they've made it through a whole 15 minutes here, Slovan, without conceding. City have hit the woodwork a couple of times, but, last 5 minutes or so, it's come a bit stop-start. Free kicks coming in and around, and yeah, as I said, City just need to be wary that the game doesn't just coast and we allow Slovan any route back into this game in what should be, really, from the position that we're in and how the game's going, a very straightforward game. And you don't get many straightforward games in your season. Here's Slovan trying to get forward, though. Ball comes in. Josko Gvardiol's not fully dealt with that, and in the end, he can get the header in. And City can come away with the ball, dodging tackles. Nunes does so well. Referee waves play on, though, because Man City are on the counter. Here is Jeremy Doku. He's got Foden and Haaland in the middle. He might go on his own here. He squares it across, and he can't find Haaland, and it goes right across the 6-yard box and out for a throw into Slovan Bratislava. I can't help but feel like he should have put his foot through that and had a shot then. Doku's causing all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. Vladimir Weiss goes down under a compact hit from... an impact hit from Savinho. It was Savinho, not Nunes before, that made that bursting run forward. City just picked the pockets there of Slovan Bratislava, and they can have the ball back in the final third here. Here is Ilkay Gundogan. I feel like this game would suit someone like Kevin De Bruyne. I could see De Bruyne scoring a hat-trick if he was playing today. He'd be having a field day with all the space, as not the best of balls forward there from Doku. And out of play for a throw-in. A goal kick. I'm getting very mixed up today. Apologies. As the Manchester City fans are all just taking it easy in the stadium. Here's City once more then, coming forward. As we're now 49 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great, guys. Do subscribe and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description or in the live chat. Use the QR code on screen as well. That would be great. Here is John Stones then for Manchester City. Foden already grabbed a goal today, grabbing City's second. Account was opened up by Ilkay Gundogan. And he says, the General, Nicolas Otamendi, grabbing a goal for Benfica. Good stuff. I like to hear that. Good stuff. Daniel says, do I think the Club World Cup will be on TV in the summer next year? It should be. I imagine it'll probably be TNT Sports that will probably pick it up. Game being broadcast live in the USA. I'm not too sure which TV stations are picking it up in the US, and I'm still not sure as to what the kickoff times are going to be from them games as well. I also think it's inappropriate to be playing the Club World Cup during a busy schedule at the end of summer when everybody's on their break and holiday, and it just severely disrupts our holidays and pre-seasons, and that'll go out for a goal kick to Slovan Bratislava, but here we are. So Retro, you need to finish in the top 8. Top 8 will avoid the playoff. 9th down to 24th will take you into the playoff. I'm not too sure as to whether 9th plays 24th and 10th plays 23rd and it works like that, or whether it's randomly drawn or seeded. I'm not sure. It's a learning curve for us all. Mario says 2-0 Barcelona. Barcelona 2-0 up Just like Man City are here, 2-0 up. Mario says 2-0 Arsenal as well, doubling their lead against PSG. I'm telling you, PSG, I'm not impressed by them. If there is a team that surprises and goes out early, they are the big team that I think maybe goes out early. Here's Rico Lewis to Jeremy Doku. Gives the ball to Phil Foden. He has a shot and drags it wide. Yeah, it's a strange one with PSG. They've gone from having Neymar, gone from having Messi and Mbappe. What a front three that is. Still didn't deliver a Champions League for them, but very impressive front three. A front three that when you play them, you know, you think, right, okay, we really need to be on it here to beat them and knock them out. Let them three go, and it's just everything's a bit lackluster by them. In fact, let's have a look at their starting 11 today. Let's have a look at that starting 11 from PSG. Because we play PSG later in the season. It's Bukayo Saka with a goal for Arsenal. Look, what is it? Donnarumma in net. Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, Nuno Mendes. You've got Emery, Vitinha and Neves as the midfield, with Doué, Barcola and Lee as their strikers. I don't look at that team, and it's got a bit of pace. There's a bit of quality knocking around. It's not good enough to be challenging for a Champions League, though. Nowhere near. James says, Celtic now, is it got worse from that Adeyemi third goal? Is it 4? Daniel, I think teams do still drop into the Europa League. It'll be the teams that lose in the playoffs. So I think anyone that finishes from 36th to 24th go out of the competition, as Barcelona have now gone 3-0 up. Plenty of goals knocking around in the Champions League today. This game's just coasting a little bit. It might be. Maybe Slovan's just got a grip to the game, the pace of the game. Either that or Man City know that they're 2-0 up, so they don't really have to try as much. I'm hoping it's not going to be the latter, as it's not the best of balls forward to Savinho, but a good sliding challenge comes in from the defender is Savinho into a good position, squares it across and keeper gets a hand onto it. Rebound, Foden drags it wide again. And he's just limping a little bit there, Phil, now. The City have had numerous opportunities to add another goal. They've not done it yet. Hopefully, sooner rather than later, we'll get the third. I'm hoping they can get it before half-time so we can get Big Erling off. I don't think we're playing PSG till January. I think, if memory serves me right, it's Sparta Prague in the third game for us in October. I think it's Sporting Club de Portugal, as City could be in again here. Here's Gundogan. He has a shot and he hits the crossbar. It's the third time we've hit the woodwork. Here is Savinho. So, Sparta Prague, match day 3 at the end of October. As Savinho puts a ball into the box, too deep, finds Doku. Can he get a ball across? As they've now got everybody back, and ball goes to the back post and just puts it out for a corner. So it's 4th match, I think, Sporting Club de Portugal away. 5th match, that's at the beginning of November. End of November is a home match against Feyenoord in match day 5. Match day 6 away in Juventus in December. Then it's PSG away, match day 7, and Club Brugge at home at the end of January for the last game for City. Bold ping-ponging everywhere. As Dortmund have gone 4-1 up now from the penalty spot. And Daniel, it is why Mbappe left PSG. It was just becoming a one-man team. It weren't working for them. They've got a couple of tidy players there. They're just nowhere near where they want to be. We're now 47 likes away from 100 likes. Do subscribe and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. Lovely weighted pass from Bratislava, and they're coming forward here on the left inside the City half. We've got the opportunity to put a ball into the box there. They choose not to. Is the captain Vladimir Weiss on the left. Plays one pass forward, cut off by John Stones. He instructs Matheus Nunes that he doesn't need to rush. He's under no pressure, and he can burst forward here for City whilst just taking his time. And here is Manchester City then coming forward. It'd be good if we could just grab a third before half-time. That'd be really good, as Phil Foden into the penalty area. His back is to goal, so he has to give it to Doku. He has a shot, and it's over the top of the crossbar from Jeremy Doku. If we could get some shots on target, that'd be good. 3 shots onto the woodwork, 2 into the stands. Here we are. Seamus says 5-1 to Borussia Dortmund now. Loads of goals knocking around. Haaland Monster, thanks for tuning in. Says, wish Savinho would score his first goal. He may well score his first goal. It's not impossible. City want handball. Referee says no handball, and Slovan can come forward here. They dink a ball forward. He looked offside. Flag's not gone up, though. Into the City penalty area. Now the flag goes up, and that is offside. And a free kick for Manchester City. So 3 minutes to go to half-time, as Adeyemi's now got a hat-trick for Dortmund. 5-1 there. It was Tolok, the man offside. Here is Manuel Akanji then for Manchester City. And once more you see Bratislava drop deep. And I did say if they can get to half-time at 2-0, they'll be thinking to themselves, you know, we score next at some point in the second half. All of a sudden, comes a different ball game. As Nunes plays the ball forward to Haaland. Haaland's not really been involved too much in this first half, surprisingly. As Josko Gvardiol has the ball, Matheus Nunes has gone down. He looks like he's okay, and he's going to be getting up, though, as advantage is played. Doku gives the ball to Gundogan. He tries to play a pass forward, cut off by Slovan, and John Stones has just got to go back to Ederson. He's not playing. Ortega in goal. He will work the ball forward again to Josko Gvardiol. Here is John Stones now for City, and once more you're getting a repeat of Slovan having everybody behind the ball, and Manchester City with everybody inside the Slovan half. 2 minutes to go, plus whatever's to be added on here in the first half, as Jeremy Doku seeing a lot of the ball, picks up the ball into the penalty area, squares the ball across to John Stones, just on the outside of the penalty area. Stones looks up, looks for the better option, finds Akanji, plays a 1-2 with Stones. Nunes has the ball, drives forward towards the penalty area, he feeds the ball to Savinho on the left. Savinho into the penalty area, trying to draw a challenge. He can't draw a challenge, and loses the ball as Vladimir Weiss now looks to try and push Slovan Bratislava forward here. He's got runners. That's another offside against Slovan, and that'll be a free kick for Manchester City. So how long's going to be added on is the question. If there's nothing to be added on, we've maybe got time for one more attack here in the first half, and it isn't uncommon for nothing to be added on in the Champions League in the first half. As City have the ball here on the right through Jeremy Doku. Gives the ball to Rico Lewis. Here is Manuel Akanji. He gives the ball to Josko Gvardiol. Here is Savinho now on the left. Got an overlap. Plays a ball in. Looking for Haaland. It ricochets to Foden. And another shot off target, guys. It's into the stands. And it remains 2-0 here. So City nowhere near being at their clinical best. It's been like a training match, shooting practice, and shooting practice hasn't been amazing from City here in the first half. This game really should be over. We should be sat here. I should be putting this chair into bed mode, is how comfortable this game has been. As I said, no added on time here. Referee just blows the half-time whistle. Manchester City lead by 2-0 in this game. So, still work for City to do. It does mean that Haaland's probably going to have to come out for the start of the second half. And it's been all too comfortable from City, but there have been one or two moments where Slovan have got forward and caused problems. A couple of balls into the box that weren't the best that Manchester City needed to defend. And, of course, that massive opportunity in the first minute that had Slovan Bratislava put that away, we could have been sat here with a different ball game. As it is, clean sheet is intact. Manchester City are leading by 2-0, and we need to keep pushing and going into the second half because, quite frankly, should have been 5 or 6-0 to Manchester City in the first half. It isn't, and we've still got a little bit of work to do. Okay, right, let's go around the grounds because this looks very entertaining. We're going to start in the Champions League. Couple of full-time scores. RB Salzburg 0, Brest 4 of France. Very impressive performance from Brest. You've also another full-time in Germany. Stuttgart 1, Sparta Prague 1, who will be Man City's next opponents in the Champions League at the Etihad Stadium. The rest of these scores are either half-time or approaching half-time. Arsenal are 2-0 up at home against Paris Saint-Germain. Barcelona are 3-0 up at home against the young boys of Bern. Bayer Leverkusen and AC Milan is 0-0, the only 0-0 in the Champions League this evening. Borussia Dortmund are 5-1 up against Celtic at half-time. That could be literally a cricket score. Inter Milan are 1-0 up against Red Star Belgrade at the San Siro. That's just turned half-time there. PSV Eindhoven are 1-0 up against Sporting Club de Portugal in the Netherlands. And finally, here in Slovakia, it's Slovan Bratislava 0, Manchester City 2. So we're going to be using today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Links and details there in the description, also in the live chat, or you can use the QR code on screen to download. Anyone that does download using my links does help to support the future content created here on my channel. And thank you very much to SofaScore for sponsoring this video. Links and details, they are in the description. So I'm going to be using their statistics section on their app to provide all the latest statistics for this game. So City botting possession, 78% possession for Manchester City compared with just 22% for Bratislava in the first half. Bratislava's expected goal rate at just 0.07, suggesting that there's just nothing threatening Manchester City. They've had one shot all game, that one opportunity for Tolic, which he dragged wide in the first minute where he should have scored. That's their only expected goal in this game. Manchester City's expected goal rate at 1.37 with two big opportunities, 14 shots for Manchester City in that first half with just 5 on target, hitting the woodwork 3 times. City have not been at their clinical best. If they had, this could have been 5 or 6-0 Manchester City in the first half. Perhaps it should have been 5 or 6-0. It isn't, and there's still work to do. City have had 7 corners compared with 0 for Bratislava. 111 passes for Bratislava compared with 380 made by Manchester City. Bratislava have made more tackles, though, 8 compared with 7 for Manchester City. I'm going to look at elsewhere. 8 shots off target from City. It's been really poor from City in that first half when it's come to their shooting, getting in good positions with good opportunities. not testing the keeper enough, because to me, when they've had shots on target, he's looked a little dodgy, so I'd be having some shots at him. Need to be getting their shooting boots sorted at half-time, ready for the second half. Not too much else really to read into it. It's been a very dominant, comprehensive performance from City. Just need to start finding the back of the net and killing this game sooner rather than later. So, Nadir says, just not being clinical enough. Ian says some sloppy football from City at times. I think I agree with both them. Not been clinical, and City have been pretty sloppy in that midfield area at times. Need to sharpen up a little bit ahead of the second half. This is a Champions League game, so, City play to the best of their capabilities. It could end up a very big score, and it still could end up a very big score come full time. So hopefully City can really apply themselves in the second half. Mario, it is half-time here. 2-0 City lead against Slovan Bratislava. Retro, thank you very much. A well-stocked alcoholic fridge. Very well stocked. We've got some champagne in there. There's some wine in there. There's some cider in there. A little mix of everything. Well stocked, but it is a work night, so we're just on the soft drinks today. But next time we've got a weekend game, it will be back to the alcoholic beverages. And, guys, speaking of alcoholic beverages, got some very exciting halftime entertainment lined up in just 1 second. Andy says, not being clinical enough was a major problem last season too. They do need to be clinical. 100%, he says, City should be out of sight in this game. As Laksh says, should at least be 4-0 up. This game should be done and dusted. As I said, this chair can go into bed mode. It should be in bed mode. I should be lying down right now, relaxing with my feet up, not speaking about anything, because we're cruising to 3 points. Sunglasses on, bucket hat on, everything on, flip-flops on, everything, the lot. It's not. We've still got work to do. There we go. Also, Seamus says, Adeyemi with a hat-trick for Dortmund in that first half in there. 5-1 drubbing of Celtic as of right now. So, there we go. You are all up to date. We do have some other games actually knocking about. I think there's quite a few games knocking around actually tonight, so I'll very quickly go through them, and then we will go on to my halftime entertainment. So Championship, all into the second half now. Burnley 1, Plymouth 0, Cardiff 1, Millwall 0, Coventry 1, Blackburn 0, Luton 2, Oxford 1, QPR 1, Hull 2, Sunderland 1, Derby 0, Norwich 1, Leeds 0, and West Brom 0, Middlesbrough 0. Got a match in the Carabao Cup as well. Newcastle are currently 1-0 up against AFC Wimbledon. Into League 1, Barnsley 0, Wickham 1, Birmingham 0, Huddersfield 0, Blackpool 0, Lincoln 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Charlton 0, Cambridge 0, Rotherham 0, Crawley 0, Mansfield 1, Leyton Orient 0, Exeter 1, Northampton 0, Bolton 2, Shrewsbury 0, Stockport County 1, Stevenage 1, Wrexham 0, Wigan 1, Peterborough 0, and Reading 2, Burton 0. Some interesting scores there in League 1 knocking around. And then into League 2, AFC Wimbledon against Crewe has been postponed due to the state of AFC Wimbledon's pitch after some flooding down in London. Bromley 2, Chesterfield 2, Carlisle 0, Notts County 2, Cheltenham 0, Accrington Stanley 1, Doncaster 0, Barrow 0, Gillingham 0, Grimsby 1, Harrogate 0, MK Dons 3, Morecambe 1, Bradford 0, Newport 2, Salford City 0, Port Vale 0, Colchester United 0, Tranmere Rovers 1, Swindon 0, and Walsall 2, Fleetwood Town 1. And I think that is your lot. I'm just having a look at the UEFA Youth League. Manchester City took on Slovan Bratislava earlier on today, and City won that game by 4-0, including Jacob Wright grabbing a couple of goals for Manchester City in that game. Just having a look to see if Nico O'Reilly played. He did play as well. Ryan McAdoo starting for Manchester City today as well. So if you're wondering why there's a couple of young players not knocking about for City, they were playing in that under-19s game against the Slovan Bratislava under-19s team. Ian says, I can see Pep shaking it up at half-time and changes to be made in the second half. Which changes do you reckon, Ian? Do let me know. And Lax says, it's 2 a.m. here. Should I be confident enough to go to bed before the full-time whistle? Depends if you need to be up early. If you're committed enough to staying up till 2. What's the difference between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. is what I would say. If you do need to be up in the morning and you want to go to bed, I'd go to bed. It's been very straightforward from City, and I would be very, 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 very surprised if Man City don't come away today with 3 points. So that's how confident I am. I'd like to see City being a little bit more clinical in the second half. Everything else I'm pretty happy with. A little bit more control in midfield would be great, and a little bit more accurate with the passing in the final third would be great as well. But all in all, a very dominating performance from Manchester City. So on with today's halftime entertainment for you guys, and a little chance for you guys just to go and sit back, relax, grab yourself a snack and a drink, top yourself up ready for the second half. I've got my partner channel Mixed running another very successful series. It's spooky season, guys, into October, Halloween to look forward to, and more importantly, Halloween drinks, Halloween cocktails. This is the Bloody French 75. Enjoy.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another Halloween cocktail series. So as you can see, once more the mic has not worked, so what we're doing is a nice director's cut. So to get started, the cocktail that's in here is we are doing the Bloody French 75. Because I'm just going through the history, because it's a nice cocktail, this one. Really recommend it. Because it's a gin, it's got gin, cranberry, lemon juice, and it's also got champagne to top it up with, and it's also just a nice little bit of simple syrup to give it that little bit of a sweet touch. So what we're doing there is putting in 4 to 5 ice cubes into a tin shaker. So we are putting in 30ml or 1 ounce of a gin. Next is 22.5ml or 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice. Next is 22.5ml, 3/4 of an ounce of cranberry juice. What we're putting in now is simple or sugar syrup, so 50ml or half an ounce into the tin shaker. One thing I will say with the Halloween, because it's my favourite cocktail series of the year. Absolutely love doing these. So what we're going to do now is shake the tin for 8 to 10 seconds to get nice and chilled. What we're doing now is getting our champagne flute out, and what we're going to do now is just strain straight into it. So one thing you will notice with this cocktail is because there's a nice it's like a nice bloody pink colour. And what we do now is top it up with champagne. So this is 90ml or 3 ounces of champagne. Because with this cocktail, just got to be a little bit patient as you pour in the champagne, because it's very fizzy. It'll fizz up very quickly, as you can see from what I'm doing right now. So we're just putting a little bit more now, just to top it up right to the brim. What we're going to do now is add a garnish. So with this is like a very solid grenadine syrup. So what we did to make this is just put it in like a frying pan. So say you put in your grenadine, put in a little bit of sugar. So you put it on the maximum heat and then you just let it cool down, and that is the effect. Gives it that nice Halloween effect, because it looks like blood, but it's very sweet. As you see, that will turn this drink pure red as you sip through it, through the grenadine. Because I just love the colour of it. I loved how this cocktail has turned out. We're just giving it a little bit of a taste test here. And the thing that hits me straight away is the sweetness. You can say my eyebrows are raised there, because it's a very sweet cocktail, and with the grenadine, it just creates that absolutely lovely effect. It just sip through, because you can see the cocktail changing colours as it mixes in with the grenadine, and it's one of those you can easily enjoy it. If you want it for Halloween cocktails, a Halloween party, this is the perfect Halloween cocktail. It's a nice effect. It looks very pretty. It's very presentable. It ticks all the boxes. This is a perfect Halloween cocktail. I just love how it's turned out. It's turned out very effective. For me, it's a solid 8 out of 10. One of my favourite ones that I've made in the past would be a Black Widow, but this is up there, I love everything about it, from the garnish to the taste. It's just very maize, because I've got a little bit sweet to it, but this is very nicely balanced, not overly sweet. But what we're going to do now, because it's an early start to the Halloween cocktail series, and what we're going to do now is just continue on with the series. And if you're new around here, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mix It for more Halloween cocktails like this, and I will see you guys in the next one.
And thank you very much there to Mixed's commentary in providing that video, as I think he said his microphone had ran out of battery and didn't realise until after he'd already done the video, so ran a commentary over the video instead. But that is the French, bloody French 75 starting his Halloween drinking series. So do go and check him out. Links and details, they are in the description. So we do have kickoff here in the second half. Perfect timing. I don't normally get my timing spot on, but today got the timing spot on, as doesn't look like any changes have been made by either side. Manchester City now attacking from right to left, with Slovan Bratislava attacking from left to right. I wonder if maybe Pep will start to spring some changes. If City can go and grab a third, I wonder. As Ian says, I can see Bernardo and Jack Grealish coming on at some point in this game, and I don't think you'll be too far off. I'd like to see James McAtee. If City can get in a position where the game's already safe, I don't see any reason why McAtee can't be getting quite a few minutes here to showcase what he is doing. As Nadir says, you don't reckon City are going to score again? I reckon City will score again. I reckon first 15 minutes here of the second half. I think City's team talk at half-time will simply be kill this game off. Maybe a bit of reverse psychology there from Nadir if it does happen, as Blackman's just trying to play a ball out from the back there, manages to get a throw in for Slovan. So a chance for Slovan to send the ball forward. It went out for a goal kick rather than a throw, and I thought it went out for a throw-in. Blame the poor camera angle. Anyway, sent long, headed clear by City. Second ball picked up just about by Slovan. And Phil Foden gets nutmegged, and Slovan can come away with the ball. They work a tidy ball out to the right. Here is Blackman getting forward for Slovan, and he's got a bit of support here. They want to get players forward. They want to attack, don't they? There's space for City if they want to use it. The ball comes across from Slovan. They'll do well to keep that in, and he can't keep it in. In fact, an out of play for a throw into City, and that just takes that sting away from that attack for Slovan Bratislava, and Manchester City can have possession once more. There's a lovely nutmeg on Phil Foden, that, to be fair. Gundogan attempts his own nutmeg, and he can't make it happen, and Slovan can have the ball. Here's Vladimir Weiss. He drops a shoulder really well, and a ball gets played forward here. Has Blackman managed to stay onside? He has, and they can have a bit of possession here. Here is Vladimir Weiss. Looks to try and centralise the attack for Slovan, but he can't, and City can take the sting away, and City can come forward. I think the only thing City need to be wary of here is just being a bit too casual about this game. I said it's got a bit of a pre-season training match vibe to the game, and sometimes you can just take your foot off when you don't realise that you should be. As Rico Lewis has a shot, and a good save comes in from the keeper. Jeremy Doku again looking to try and provide for Manchester City here on the right wing, and he's got support again of Rico Lewis. A burst of acceleration, a ball comes across, and the keeper too close to him can grab that out of the air, and no danger to the Slovan Bratislava goal. Mario says Ederson at centre forward or midfield and let Haaland come off. I don't think Pep Guardiola would be disrespectful enough to do that and put Ederson on in an outfield position. However, your second suggestion of James McAtee coming on, much more likely, as Gundogan manages to find Erling Haaland and he burst forward. He has a shot. It's blocked. Savinho takes a touch on that, so Blackman has to deal with it. He does deal with it. Tries to play a ball forward. Gundogan picks the pocket there, and City can have the ball back again. 50 minutes in. City lead here by 2-0, pushing for a third. Here is Gundogan, got the support of Akanji. He's got Doku ahead of him. He wants to use Jeremy Doku. He doesn't go first time, takes a touch, goes second time, can't find his man. And once again, City just look to build again through their defenders. Here is Akanji to John Stones. He's got Nunes in a deeper role, finds Nunes, got a bit of space. He might fancy a shot here, Nunes. He does have a shot. It's blocked, and I don't get why City are shooting from 30 yards out when they don't need to. There's got to be better options. I feel like Nunes is just trying a bit too hard, and because of that shot, it gives the ball away, and here come Slovan Bratislava on the attack inside the City half and on the edge of the City penalty area before Vladimir Weiss again gives the ball away. He's not had the best of games, Vladimir Weiss. He's done a lot of running. He's here, there and everywhere. But when it comes to his end product, it's been a little bit like Jeremy Doku's end product. Got into some great positions, trying really hard. But in terms of the end product and, finding them killer passes and them lovely goals and assists, it's not quite there. As Rico Lewis has the ball now to Phil Foden. And ball gets given away from City. Gundogan mops up well. Here is Jeremy Doku. Finds Ilkay Gundogan. Back to Jeremy Doku. Good evening, Mixid. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do hope you are well. Here is Gundogan. Finds Jeremy Doku once more. Into the penalty area. To Ilkay Gundogan. Gives the ball to Johnny Stones. Yeah, Doku ready to make a run then, but he doesn't play the ball. He goes with Gundogan instead. He threads a ball through for Rico Lewis. He takes on his man. He goes down. Is that not a penalty? How's that not a penalty? Rico Lewis I can't believe it. He sticks a leg. He legs him up. I think the referee's... I can't believe he's not given a penalty. Referees, stop play now. I think the check's complete. How is that not a pen? Oh, man. I don't get it. You either give a penalty there or you book Rico Lewis for diving. It's one or the other. It's either a penalty or it's a dive. It's one or the other. I don't get how the referee doesn't give a penalty for Man City or a free kick for Slovan Bratislava. The commentator just mentioned there's no contact. If there's no contact, it's a dive and a free kick and a yellow card. If there is contact, it's a stonewall penalty. Cross comes in. Haaland! And it's wide from the header. Should have scored. I need to see another replay. I'm convinced there's contact. I'm convinced it's a pen. Lovely ball from Matheus Nunes. Should score Erling Haaland. It's a free header. And he gets it all wrong. And he knows he gets it all wrong. We're not getting a replay. I want to see a replay of that penalty. Here's Vladimir Weiss. Intercepted by Josko Gvardiol. Matheus Nunes tries to play a ball forward. Cut off. Question is, can Slovan Bratislava just exchange a few passes? Under pressure here from City in their own third. And cut off by John Stones. He'll stop the attack and that goes out for a throw-in to Bratislava. On the water for the second half. I'm still waiting for that replay. We had one replay where I looked at it and it looked like a penalty, and I've not had a second replay to slow it down and see if there is contact or not. Now Slovan are just slowly just passing it around. Managed to work their way into the City half. They've pushed everybody forward. Man City have got everybody behind the ball. Not the best of passes. It tempted Haaland nearly. City now take their opportunity to push everybody forward, and that forces Slovan back to the keeper. He's going to have to send it long. He's not got it right, and Josko Gvardiol gets his head on that, and that'll be a throw-in for Slovan inside their own half. Once again, just more work for City to do. Back to the keeper. He's going to have to go long again. Straight out of play for a throw into Manchester City. So there's the mistake that City were waiting for to get the ball back. They do get the ball back and they can have a throw in now. Here's Ilkay Gundogan. Gives the ball to Ilkay Gundogan. Here is Rico Lewis to Jeremy Doku. It's shown the defender too much and nearly gives the ball away. City have somehow come out with it on the left. Here's Matheus Nunes. He's got Savinho for support. He's got nowhere to go. Matheus Nunes once more. Patient build-up from Manchester City. 56 minutes in. City lead by 2-0, guys. Here is Josko Gvardiol. Support again of Savinho. Geffin, thanks for tuning in. Thank you very much for your kind comment there. I'd love to be a commentator. Commentating on things is a passion of mine. I like doing it. Here is Jeremy Doku. Into the penalty area once more. Tries to square the ball across and just no end product there once more from Doku. And once more, Bratislava can come away with the ball. And once again, Vladimir Weiss can give away the ball. Richard Watson, thanks for tuning in, says Nunes has been poor. His first touch is poor. You're not the first person to have said that. I was hoping Nunes would be able to showcase why he should be starting and getting minutes, and I just don't feel like in this first hour that he's really taken that opportunity. As I want to see a bit more from Jeremy Doku. He's got in some great positions. He looks so lively, but the end product's been poor. I want to see more as Bratislava have a shot. Good block comes in there from Johnny Stones, and Manchester City can come away with the ball. There is Rico Lewis. I'd like to see a little bit more energy from Manchester City. The trotting as a through ball comes in for Haaland. Surely one result here. Surely one result here. And Manchester City have had to be patient for that third goal, but it does come, and Erling Haaland seals the deal there for Manchester City. And City lead by 3-0. And it's Erling Haaland tapping into the goal. And Manchester City, you would think with the third goal, wrap up the 3 points in Slovakia. Lovely through ball. Lovely round of the goalkeeper from Haaland. Nearly a little bit too much on it, but enough for Haaland's pace and long legs to get there on his right foot and tap home for a third goal, showing why he's one of the deadliest strikers in the world there, Erling Haaland. You can't give him an inch, you give him space, he'll bury it, and that's exactly what he does. And Manchester City now, just before the hour mark, seal things up. So I'd probably take this opportunity if I was Pep now to start chucking on some of the substitutes. I'd be taking Haaland off. He's done 60 minutes here. He's grabbed the goal. Off he goes. Ball comes forward from Slovan, headed clear by Manuel Akanji. Mario says 4 more to go. How hungry a Man City is the question. Here is City coming forward, and it's a good ball. Finds Savinho. He gets a chance here to look up. He wants to take his man on. He does take his man on. He does well. He gets the cross in, and Well defended. Very well defended from Slovan Bratislava. Looked like that were going to be 4-0 Manchester City. I think it was Nunes that was going in, and as a result of that brilliant bit of defending, Bratislava are in here, and a shot comes in and it's dragged wide. He saw the headlines. Drags his shot wide. 3-0 Manchester City lead. Andy says, we've got to allow them to come out and play. That leaves the space up front for City. 3-0. Simple as that. And Pep Guardiola takes on what I've just said, with City taking that opportunity to make them substitutions. And Erling Haaland, with them niggles, does the hour, gets the goal, off he comes. James McAtee, who I thought would be coming on, comes on. And with Ruben Dias coming on, I presume that City are just preserving one of their defenders. I wonder if this could be potentially John Stones. It's not. It's Manuel Akanji that's coming off. And I can just see in the corner there, there's a VAR potential penalty check. I'm not sure what they're checking. It says check over. Don't know what they were checking for. Maybe it was that ball in and that good bit of defending. They were maybe checking for handball. Don't know what they were checking for. Didn't look like there was a lot wrong with anything that went on there in them two phases of attacks, both from City and from Bratislava's drag shot. Anyway, here come Manchester City. James McAtee and Ruben Dias in. Ruben Dias has taken the armband. John Stones has gone into midfield. And he'll have support with Manuel Akanji. Akanji's just gone off. So he'll have support with Ilkay Gundogan and Rico Lewis. Here is Jeremy Doku. Got a bit of space there with Ilkay Gundogan. He wants to use the pass. He delays it too much. Darren says, great goal from Haaland. 3-0 Manchester City. Good stuff. There's a lovely rounding of the keeper from Haaland. And, make a good point. City should back the defence a little bit more. Sit a little bit deeper. Allow teams to come forward. When we allow teams to come forward, we can really apply the pressure to create a little bit of space for ourselves. As Zabiru and Suzuki come off for Slovan Bratislava, making their own couple of changes here. We've got Calvin Phillips' lookalike coming on. As we're seeing former City man Vladimir Weiss coming off. Just waiting for a confirmation on who's come on and who's come off. As Badrich has come on for Vladimir Weiss. Just waiting for confirmation on the other sub. In the meantime, City are going to come forward. Here is Ilkay Gundogan. Gives the ball to John Stones. Here is Ruben Dias. Works the ball to the right with Jeremy Doku. As Savinho picks the ball up, gives the ball to Josko Gvardiol. And here is John Stones. Savinho does very well to keep hold of the ball there for City, having to slide in. And City can come forward once more. Here's Rico Lewis, gives the ball to Jeremy Doku. Thought about putting a ball in. They've not got the physical presence of Erling Haaland, so crosses in the air are no good. It's going to have to be low balls in, clever passes, and work your way around the defence. Matheus Nunes. Surprised him not chucked Matheus Nunes up top, actually. He's probably City's tallest and biggest player that we've got in attack. Instead, they're using him more as a left winger, as Gundogan and Nunes combine really well. And Nunes goes low. Good ball across that from Matheus Nunes. And well dealt with by Slovan Bratislava. Kashia, it was at the back, putting the ball out. He's taken over as the captain of this game, with Vladimir Weiss going off. Seamus, Haaland is great at scoring with passes over the top. Anything that's coming through. Anything that allows him to be facing goal that he can run onto and latch onto, he's very good at. As a corner comes in from City. Header 1. Falls to John Stones. He can't sort his feet out to put his foot through it and have a shot. And Rico Lewis is going to have to build up again from the back. I've seen a little pop-up that says Luke Mbete's just been stretchered off for Northampton in their game against Bolton Wanderers. That's very unfortunate. As City put a ball in, dealt with by Slovan Bratislava. Mario, I can't see Scott Carson getting 10 minutes. I can't see it happen. It's not normally what City do. Making a change for the sake of making a change. Andy, good point. He does know where the onion bag is. He knows how to score goals. And we're 3-0 up. It's a great chance to experiment with different things if Pep's thinking about things. I think Pep's just so concerned with physicality and balls over the top. It's why he likes John Stones or Manuel Akanji to go more into midfield, to have that player who can win headers in the absence of Rodri, as Doku tries to get forward and he's just shunned out, and that will be a goal kick to Slovan Bratislava. So the game's just started to go a bit flat. I can see Man City maybe trying to burst forward again and try and grab another goal, but can't see anything other than that. Classic Man City. Win, but don't burn loads of energy. Don't tire yourself out. Start thinking about Fulham on Saturday. And they will. They're thinking about Fulham. It's why Haaland's come off. Here's City once more coming forward. Here's Rico Lewis. Gives the ball to Jeremy Doku. Here's John Stones now to Ruben Dias. Josko Gvardiol. Works the ball to Savinho. Savinho back to Josko Gvardiol. He just plays the ball across here to Johnny Stones. Thinks about having a shot. He doesn't have a shot, and instead Rico Lewis can have the ball. Here's Jeremy Doku now back to Rico Lewis on the right. City's still attacking. Knocking the ball around. Foden now to Matheus Nunes. Seamus says Dortmund now 6-1 up. Diaz plays the ball looking for Jeremy Doku. Headed clear only as far as Rico Lewis. Gives the ball back to Doku. And Jeremy Doku has a shot and a good save from the keeper looking for the near post. Keepers look more solid for Bratislava in the second half than what he did in the first. In the first he looked a little dodgy as far as I'm concerned. Doku looks for the near post. Comfortable save for the goalkeeper though. A ball given away high up here though by Bratislava, and Doku just loses his footing, and that will be a free kick for Slovan Bratislava inside their own penalty area. Nothing else really happening in the Champions League games at the moment. As City wanted the advantage there. I think offside's being given. is City then coming forward. John Stones. It's very static from City. And what you're seeing here is what City would be like without Erling Haaland. And baffles me why Man City haven't gone out there and signed a backup striker. Nunes, that's a lovely ball for Rico Lewis. And he has a clean shot saved by the keeper. That would have been an amazing goal and a fantastic assist for Matheus Nunes. That was a brilliant ball. João Cancelo-esque. Perfect weight onto it. Rico Lewis does everything right. He just waits for it. And he just doesn't make a clean enough connection. Almost like he was trying to guide the ball into the back of the net rather than putting his foot through it. And it just needed someone just to put their foot right through that. And that'd have been 4-0. Anyway, we continue into the 70th minute. Don't forget, guys, leave a thumbs up. We're now 36 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. I love that Bratislava 3-0 down. Still got 5 players forward. Ball comes into the City box. Headed clear by City. They're pushing all the players forward here. They're trying to score. That'll be their aim. Keep the score down and try and score a goal. Lost 5-1 against Celtic. They won't want to concede 5 again today. Try and grab a goal. Ortega wants to roll the ball out quickly. He does. Gets the run of James McAtee. He's bursting forward here. On your own, son. On your own. Plays a pass for Foden. He finds Foden as well, just about. Here's Foden, though. His back's to goal. Gives the ball to Ilkay Gundogan. He's coming forward for City now. City at just under 500 passes at a pass accuracy of 93%. 140 passes for Slovan Bratislava at a pass accuracy of just over 75% for them. I can't see City signing Watkins. I can't see City going to a 2 up top. So because of that, I can't see Ollie Watkins being happy with playing second fiddle to Erling Haaland, which is why I'd just go out. I wouldn't break the bank for a backup striker, but I'd just go out there just to ensure that you've got that option. If Haaland picks up an injury or needs a rest, you've got a good goal scorer on the bench who can come on and make the difference. It doesn't have to be someone who can complement Haaland. I'd just look for another goal scorer that if Haaland's not there, you've got somebody else to put on. You know, matches like tonight are a perfect opportunity for Haaland to have a rest. He's had to do an hour because we've got no other option. And when Haaland's not on the pitch, City don't look anywhere near as threatening as far as I'm concerned. Here's Jeremy Doku. Gives the ball to Ilkay Gundogan. Too many safe passes for me. Here's Matheus Nunes. I'll give him credit. He wants to play dangerous passes. He wants to make things happen. As Josko Gvardiol tries to cut inside. Can't, but does get a corner. 73 minutes played. 3-0 City lead here in Slovakia against Slovan Bratislava. What can City do from this corner, which Savinho has come across to take? Corner comes in. Header not won by City, and the corner is eventually cleared by Bratislava. Only as far as Ortega comes up to halfway to have a touch before Man City will continue their attack inside the Bratislava half. Nunes exchanges a couple of passes with Ilkay Gundogan. He gives the ball to Rico Lewis. Here is John Stones now, finds Rico Lewis. He's popping up in some good areas, and James McAtee makes it 4-0 to Manchester City, and a lovely well-taken goal by the City youngster. And Manchester City now do wrap things up in Slovakia, and James McAtee on the score sheet as well. Things you love to see. Easy as that. There's the 4th. Do Man City want to stop, or do they want to keep going is the question. Good exchange of the passes. Lovely assist for Phil Foden. Good finish from McAtee. He checks to make sure he's not offside. He's not offside. There we go. Clinical. Do we need to get a campaign for James McAtee to get more minutes? This is where I want City now to push. Keep pushing. Make a statement win. Go and score 5 or 6. How often in the Champions League do you have the opportunity away from home to score 5 or 6 goals? It's doable tonight. And you know, City have been clinical. This could have been 10. Could have been 10. Maybe it should have been 10. Into the final 15 of the game. Here is Rico Lewis. City coming forward again. There's lots of tired legs out there now for Slovan. There is the potential for City to go out there and score a few more goals if they want it. Here's John Stones. Gives the ball to Jeremy Doku. Burst of acceleration from Doku and he gets City a corner. Jack Grealish is going to be coming on for City now. Who's it going to be for? Is it going to be for Doku? Is it going to be for Savinho? Corner for City though. Not going to wait for that substitution to be made. City are just going to get on with this. Phil Foden to take. Hand is up. Ball comes in. Header won by Bratislava. And we've hired a set-piece coach. Our set-pieces this season have been poor. Has this new set-piece coach started? Is he still waiting for his DBS check? What's going on? Set-pieces have been so poor. Both defending and attacking them. Anyway, McAtee. Lovely from McAtee. McAtee! Oh, he's showing off. It's a good save from the keeper. Could John Stones have just maybe hit that himself? Should have been 5. That's what Pep's saying to Jack Grealish on the side. That should have been 5. Here is Rico Lewis then for City. Gives the ball to Doku. Foden now to Rico Lewis. Foden once more. McAtee to Rico Lewis. Pinged across to Savinho. He plays the ball across to Josko Gvardiol. And City's press comes in. And that will be a throw-in for Slovan Bratislava to take. And the substitution will come in, and it's Josko Gvardiol. He comes off. Kyle Walker's also going to be coming on as well. He takes the captain's armband, Kyle Walker, so he's on for Josko Gvardiol. So, and Phil Foden's going to come off for Jack Grealish. I'm just trying to work out. So, Kyle Walker's on the right. Ruben Dias is going through the middle. And with Josko Gvardiol going off, I wonder if it's going to be... Is it going to be John Stones? Or is Ruben Dias going to go on to the left and John Stones through the middle? Maybe. We'll see. Let's see what shape City go with. I wonder if that means Jack Grealish is going through into midfield direct, like for like, with Phil Foden. It looks like Rico Lewis has gone on the left. Yeah, Ruben Dias is on the left with Rico Lewis. Or is it John Stones? Oh, see, John Stones has gone out there now. Right, so John Stones is out on the left. Walker's on the right. Diaz through the middle. Lewis is supporting John Stones on the left. He's got Ilkay Gundogan dropping into defensive midfield. And they've got the support of Matheus Nunes, Jack Grealish and James McAtee with Doku and Savinho out wide. Julie, I'm not too sure. I'll have a look at the live league table. Let's see where City are right now. So, on today's video sponsor, brought to you by SofaScore, link in the description and also in the live chat. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up. We're now 31 likes away from 100 likes. it says that City are 4th right now on 4 points. So Dortmund, Brest and Leverkusen, as it stands right now, if all the results stay the same, are the 3 teams on 6 points. City are on 4 points, and we've got a better goal difference than everybody else with this 4-0 win at the moment here. We're in 4th. That makes much better reading than City sitting in 20th place, doesn't it? But we do have to wait for the rest of the games to be played through match day number 2 to see where we lie. But 4 points from 2 games, not too shabby. An average of 2 points per game. We get to 16 points. We'll go through to the last 8. Sorry, the first 8 that go through to the last 16. Right, into the final 10 minutes here in Slovakia. City lead by 4-0. I think them substitutions are just going to take the sting out of this game, and City are just going to look to try and come out of this game. Obviously, injury-free would be nice. Here's Rico Lewis. Gives the ball to Ilkay Gundogan. Here is Johnny Stones. Just plays a pass in the channel to Kyle Walker. 7-1 Dortmund. Wow. Celtic have been on the receiving end. They beat Slovan 5-1 at Parkhead and lose 7-1 at Dortmund. That's incredible. Anyway, here is City in a bit of space, and ball gets just... I said play across. It's not played across. It's drilled in to Jack Grealish. He can't control it, and the ball will come away. Only as far as John Stones, though. City are going to look to build the attack again. Got 9 minutes. That's enough time to score 9 more goals yet. Here is Johnny Stones. Under pressure. Finds Rico Lewis. Jack Grealish playing at centre-back right now. Picks the ball up from deep to Kyle Walker. His England teammate. Worked out to the right. Doku. Got the run of his man into the penalty area. Squares it across and well defended and out for a corner kick to Manchester City. Very clear that Slovan Bratislava have been working on their interceptions and dealing with low balls towards the post from out wide. Idar's just missed a sitter. Should have been 7-2. As it is, Felix Nemicha just grabbed the goal for Dortmund. Is it? Wow, Man City have just had a corner and we won the header, guys. It didn't go in, of course, but we won a header. Johnny Stones really should score. Free header. Should score. City really should have scored a lot more than 4 today. They weren't half chances. These were very good chances. City were 23 attempts today. On goal, just 3 for Slovan Bratislava. I was hoping that TNT Sports would show me on target stats, but they chose not to, just the amount of attempts. So instead, we'll use today's video sponsor SofaScore instead to get the details as Inter Milan have overtaken City. We're now 5th in the live league table. So we've had 24 shots, 11 of them on target, 13 off target. More shots off target than on target. Here's John Stones to Ilkay Gundogan. Here's Rico Lewis. Work to Savinho. Here's Gundogan to Kyle Walker. He wants a Kyle Walker rocket here. It didn't sit nice for him, so he couldn't have it. Gives it to Doku instead. Here is Matheus Nunes. Back to Doku. He's got the run of Matheus Nunes. He has to twist and turn. He plays the ball across. Not the best. And cleared by Bratislava. Here is Kyle Walker. Just plays his pass across to Ruben Dias. Here's Jack Grealish now. Middlesbrough gone 1-0 up. Dave will be happy. Here is Jack Grealish to Rico Lewis. Here's McAtee now. 6 minutes to go. Out of play for a throw into City. It's been a pre-season game this for Man City, hasn't it? Pre-season game. Slovan Bratislava are going to make another change. You're going to see Barsegrian come off for Mac. Is it Barsegian? So throwing for City, Rico Lewis to take. Throws it behind him, gives it to Jack Grealish. Here's Ruben Dias. To Jack Grealish. I mean, I've got 4-0 on my Super 6. I'm hoping this is going to stay the same. I had 4-0 Man City as my score prediction. I don't want my 5 points to disappear. Here's Jeremy Doku to Akanji. Kyle Walker. I keep thinking Akanji's on the pitch, and I don't know why. Probably because he just plays every minute for Man City. So used to him being on the pitch. Here is Jeremy Doku. To Kyle Walker. Here is John Stones now to Grealish. Rico Lewis. Gives it to Ruben Dias. Here's Grealish. Lovely drop of the shoulder from Grealish. And a lovely combined passes with him and Ilkay Gundogan. And here's City coming forward. And there's the shot. And that should have been another goal. Good save. Gundogan should have scored. Should have been 5. My 5 points on Super 6 are being preserved right now by the keeper's leg. Nick, thanks for tuning in, says, incredible how Celtic have won all 6 league matches, 20-0. Yet today they've let in 7. Shows you how uncompetitive that Scottish league is. And having an uncompetitive league does nothing when performing in Europe. I think that's one of the big problems PSG's always faced. The lack of serious competition means you're not playing quality teams, which you face a big gulfing difference. When you're just the best team around, it's not the best preparation when, compare it with City, who are taking on Arsenal and then Liverpool and then Chelsea and then Fulham are doing very well this season. Aston Villa and Newcastle and Tottenham. It's all really good preparation because they're all really good teams. Whereas PSG, they're going to be looking at the fixtures and go, who have you got this week? Oh, we've got Lyon, decent team. Got Marseille, decent team. And all of a sudden, you look a little bit deeper into Liga 1, and you find yourselves at places like Dijon and places like that. But yeah, can you say the same for Madrid? I probably can. I think there's a little bit more quality in La Liga. Obviously, you've got El Clasico, Madrid and Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, always going to be in and around. Sevilla, a good team. Like, so your Sociedads can cause problems. I think there's a bit more competition there. Wow, not only did Man City have a corner and win the header, we didn't score, of course, but it was on target. We had to force the keeper to make a save. It's out for another corner. John Stones winning another header. They do have 15 Champions Leagues, but I think La Liga's got quality in it. There's good teams in it. You've got to have that competition there. You've got to keep things lively. You can't afford to just have a one-team league. I mean, I could accuse the Premier League of being a one-league team, really. City have won 4 in a row, and if we win it this year, it's 5 in a row. It's a bit of a farmers' league, but there's high-quality, really good teams in there. Man City can't just turn up and win. You have to play 100%, because if we don't win the league. It's got to be 100% every game. It's relentless. It's exhausting. Liga 1, though, PSG don't have to play 100% to win the games. As Walker wants a shot, he has a rocket and keeper makes a save. Spills it, but he makes the save as Doku gets forward and he can't keep that in. He's quick, but he's not that quick as we're into the final minute of this game. So, guys, we're on 70 likes, 30 to go to 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. So, we've had 2 corners in a row. We've won the headers on both them corners. John Stones won the header and it went over when he should have scored. He won the next header, forcing a save from the keeper. Can he go one better? Win the header this time and score. Gundogan to take. Are we going to see that set piece? Corner comes in. Slovan win the header. Anyway, what's going to be added on? I suspect if it was a normal game, there'd be 4 or 5 minutes. Referee's discretion because the game's done. He might just want to blow the whistle. Just 2 minutes added on then. 2 minutes to go as ball comes in. McAtee wins the header and it's wide. Slovan are going to use that opportunity just to coast away the rest of the game as another substitution's been made here, I think, by Slovan Bratislava. So these 2 minutes is a perfect reason for me to say thank you so much for watching. It is much appreciated, guys. Thank you to everybody that's interacted with me today, that's left a thumbs up, that's downloaded SofaScore, that's left their thoughts in the live chat. It is much appreciated and it means the world to me that you guys take your time to come and tune in and leave your thoughts and everything and interact with me. It makes these live watch-alongs more than doable. So thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. It is much appreciated. I am away on Saturday, so I will not be doing a live watch-along of the game between Manchester City and Fulham. However, alternatively, I have just signed up to a new streaming platform called Big Up. Link is in the description. Go and sign up and go and follow me on there. That would be absolutely amazing. I'm going to be doing regular streams on there, doing analysis of games. So I'm live tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. BST. digesting this game and looking towards the Fulham game, and then I'll be live on Sunday speaking more in detail from a tactical analysis point of view about the Fulham game as well. So more streams for you guys to look forward to. Link to that's in the description. As I said, it is free to check out. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. We're 30 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe. Do go and check out social media links. They're in the description as well. That would be great. And a big thank you to SofaScore for sponsoring this video. So, last attack for Man City. They're tackled in the penalty area. Bratislava are going to come forward. It is going to be a clean sheet for Manchester City, and it is going to be a 4-0 win as well. And very much job done onto the Premier League game against Fulham. I'll have all the content and build up towards that, so do enjoy. Thank you very much, Nick, for your kind comment, and to Seamus, Andy as well. Much appreciated. And we'll see you all again for the next live stream after the international break, which I think is Southampton for Manchester City in the Premier League. I'll have all the latest in digesting this win. I'll have my match review up in the next hour. As I said, do go and check out Big Up there in the description. So Big Up to Big Up. That would be much appreciated. Do go and check them out. Got analysis stream up tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. and then we'll be back on Sunday with my analysis of Manchester City's game against Fulham. I'll have all the build up to the Fulham game as well and the reactions afterwards for you guys to enjoy. But for this game, comprehensive from Manchester City, 4-0 win, expected goal rate at 3.23 for City, scoring 4 goals. Goals today coming from 4 different goal scorers, starting with Ilkay Gundogan's deflected effort. As we do see the best friends Vladimir Weiss and Pep Guardiola having a laugh with each other on the touchline. That's what we like to see. Phil Foden grabbing the goal for City after 15 minutes, and then Erling Haaland wrapping things up on 58 minutes before James McAtee secured the deal with a 4-0 win for Manchester City. A comprehensive game of football for City, and we can move on and start focusing on our next Premier League game against Fulham before the next international break, and then looking further ahead towards after the international break, we're taking on Southampton at home, and we also have a home game against Sparta Prague in our next Champions League game, another must-win game for Manchester City. So thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. It is much appreciated. Do have a wonderful rest of your evening. As I said, my match reaction will be up in the next 60 minutes for you guys to enjoy. Ian, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Julia, a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for tuning in. And do take care, everybody. So I've been JSGC. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope everybody is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.